Happy Monday. It is the Aftermath on 102.9, the Game Broad Street South Radio. It's your boy AJ Turnup. Got my man, co-host right here, Coach Slick, the British guy who's always fly and on standby. How are you doing today, Slick?
I'm enjoying life. I'm enjoying things are good. I got the creamsicle on, so
damn right. So if all you Bucs have been sleeping under a sunken ship, let me break it down. The Buccaneers are going to be playing at 4:25 Sunday. They flex that shit. You know why? Because your Buccaneers are making noise. And it's a throwback creamsicle in the house right now. We're going to look real good out there. It's going to be a hell of a game. We about to change the game and the name because you know why? The Bucs are going to walk away with a victory. And when I tell you that, it's going to be a good-ass victory. The Bucs are going to give the Detroit Lions a rude awakening, and we're going to break that shit down because my man Slick going to think he might have a little different opinion on it, but I'm here right now, guys. Hear me out. The Bucs are going to take care of Detroit and not just a little slick win. They're going to dominate Detroit. Watch. Mark my words. And we got special guests coming up tonight because, again, I hope you enjoyed the bye week. The Bucs were undefeated in the bye week, as you know. And that's always a good thing. Now, of course, the punk-ass Saints, they just had to win, but it is what it is.
Bill.
Well, you know, they're playing the Patriots. Belichick is showing you guys that maybe Brady was the entire system. Maybe it was Brady. Maybe he was the Patriot way. Because I tell you what, Slick, if I'm the GM and I'm not
the thing, he is the GM.
I mean, if I'm the owner,
it comes down to craft.
If I'm the owner, and I know Stephen A. Smith said the show right, but I said it first. I'm telling him you're not a GM any longer, and I'm hiring advisors. I'm getting a new GM, and I'm getting advisors, and we're getting someone else to help you. If you don't take the deal after this season, you're fucking done. You're not going to bring – because, one, if I like you like that, it's like I don't want you to bring shame on your legacy. So I'm going to help you out. But besides all that, the Panthers took care of business by stinking, which we told you guys this. I don't understand. The media, they all slick and I
like with rookie quarterbacks, they seem to think not many rookie quarterbacks have great years the first year. It's a figure it out year. And usually these rookie quarterbacks go to poor teams.
Right.
Teams that aren't that good. If you're lucky, they got a few pieces and they traded up or something like that. But for the most part, it is teams that have struggled because they earned the first overall pick or a top 5 pick because they weren't very good the year before.
Exactly. And another thing, who's he throwing to? If you don't believe me, guys, if you don't set your rookie quarterback with a solid defense and a strong run game, or you set him up with a consistent defense, above average offense with an elite receiver, that guy's not going to do shit. You want to know why? Guess who could really need a number one receiver? Lamar Jackson. I'm telling you, Slick, history owes you and I apology. We talked about this man right here. We talked about him. We said he was the truth. We told you this. And we told you we liked OBJ. He was cool, but y'all got too far ahead of yourself. Slick and I said, hold on now. Slow your roll.
He has not been injuries half his problem. And he is an injury plagued player now.
That's right.
And that's not going to, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I think it is what it is. The thing is, he has that talent that makes him a number one wide receiver, as in the lead dog. The problem is he has never consistently put it together since one of the years in 2019.
Facts, and now he's blatantly just robbing the damn Ravens. They took some money, and now you're not even.
He did not hold them at gunpoint.
I know,
was stupid enough to give him the money.
This is why it's always important, ladies and gentlemen, to not always go by a name and what people do in the past.
Wouldn't it be smarter for them to turn around and go, why don't we see if the Buccaneers will give up Mike Evans for a first-round pick?
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm telling you.
That's the kind of power move you got to play. The power move you got to play.
Oh, no, you're right, Slick. If anything, the team we're about to play could do the same. It's a lot of teams out there right now, your Buck fans, that are looking like, Mike Evans. The trade deadline is coming up soon. we might want to say, hey guys, we'll give you a right now the way he's playing, we give you a third round. Now I'd say hell no, but still, a third round or a second round is not out of the question anymore, guys. Remember, Slick, people laughed at us when we said if he produces, his value will go up.
Yep.
Right now, and especially, let's say he has a breakout game in Detroit. You might be right, Slick. Baltimore might get on the phone and say, look, we're desperate. Lamar's pissed. We'll give you a second round for this guy. A second round, and we'll give you another defensive player, or we'll give you an offensive guy. Because Mike
I
Evans,
would say a wide receiver for a wide receiver in the second round would be, I mean,
it's one of those things. It's one of those things where the possibility is there, but Slick, we already talked.
I don't think it's going to happen. I said my
not.
theory was, and I'll let our gentleman in because we've got a couple of people wanting to get in. My theory was if the Bucs sucked at the trade deadline, they would trade Mike Evans.
Okay.
So if they were really poor, yeah, it makes sense to get what you can for him, and then just see how the rest of the season plays out, and you might get a really good pick as well. So it all works out. Then you have some picks, you get some extra picks, and you move on from a player or what have you that's a bit older, and you end up with extra picks, and that's all well and good. But I thought also if the Buccaneers were good, which they are right now, they're going to go, well, let's let this season go out, and maybe we can still re-sign him because you come off the Buccaneers come off a season where we go to the playoffs and win even if it's just winning a playoff game, a home playoff game.
Yep.
Mike Evans is going, the future's not done in Tampa. I could quite easily stay here.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. But yeah, you're right, guys. This is a full stacked house tonight, guys. We got so many people in here.
Right, let's get Doug Homey on because he's only got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, let's bring him on. We got some fire guests tonight. I told you guys. Let's
bring the lot in. We got Rick Hughes, Big Game James. We'll let the dude mull in the background.
Yep. And hey, look, y'all. First of all go Bucs. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in and joining us. First of all, go Bucs. Let's just talk about it, guys. I want to start with my man BJG. I want you to start off, and then we work around our way. What is your expectations for this game coming up against our former NFC Central foe?
It's going to be a tough test, man. I mean, just all realistic expectations. Normally the Detroit Lions were a game we chalked up as a win for a while, and you can't do that this season. They showed that they've got the tools on defense, and Goff is playing well at the quarterback position. And it's going to be a long day if we cannot block Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh, man. Okay. Rick, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
All right, look, everybody's back. I think the fact that you're going to have Kalijah Cansey back is a huge deal. I think it could be underestimated. Look, you guys know when the Philly game came around, what did I say? I said, I don't think we're going to get this one.
You did.
I think we're going to get this one. I do. I try to be pretty realistic. Detroit is still the kind of team that's going to lose a game like this. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they just, there's a growth process you go through, and this is the kind of game, where you end up coming up a little short on the road, and you end up, you learn your lessons, you get knocks. This is how you continue to grow. Tampa can win this game, but if it was in Detroit, I wouldn't think so. So, I mean, I think realistically, you're going to add a wrecking machine on the defensive line. You've got depth at the other positions. Dean should be back. I mean, you've got depth. You've got something. The defense is going to be the healthiest it has been. I will say the stuff you were talking about, Mike Evans. No, you are not in a sell position right now. You're just not. If you were gonna be, you would have been before the season. You don't even remotely consider selling Mike Evans at this point to another team. Not at 3-1. You just that's not even in the universe. Even though he has my grandma's hamstrings, you just don't do that. You've just gotta. That guy right now, he's invaluable to a 3-1 team that's leading the division. You're not getting rid of Mike Evans.
Agreed. How about you, Dan?
Listen, I think that if they were going to move on from Mike Evans, it's not going to be during the season. I think they're going to do it in the off season. I think this team is in win now mode. I think they have really great options in Godwin and Evans, not to mention Palmer and Tompkins. They're loaded, and I think they're trying to make the most of this era. Listen, there's a lot of questions when it comes to Baker Mayfield. He came here on the cheap. He's not going to come back again on the cheap. I know everyone's like, well, we got him in the bargain bin. He's just going to come out next year, and his agent's going to go, not so fast. That was Baker before this reclamation project. I think that it's going to be difficult to bring him back, but I think that this Bucs team is in win now mode. And when I say win now mode, it's this year, because there are a lot of pieces in flux here. We don't know ultimately who's going to be coming back to this team next season. It seems like it's constantly, there's no continuity, and there's never any assuredness of who's going to be on this team one year to the next. We're away from the Brady years, and now there's still not a real solid quarterback that we know that's going to be on this team for the long term. I know that there's Trask, and potentially they could draft someone, but there still is a lot of uncertainty. So I think the Bucs are still in win now mode with Mike Evans.
Oh, Dad, you nailed it. And I want to go back to my man BGJ. Look, you inspired me to think about this, because you called it. You said the Bucs would get Canty, and you were spot on. I do think what Rick was saying, Canty is going to be one of the big keys. If he plays this game, and let's say, and I said this before, if he's at 90%, Detroit's they're in trouble. Think about this. Teams that the Detroit has played, they're pretty good, but they have no defense like the Bucs. Kansas City does not have a Bucs defense. Seattle Seahawks do not have a Bucs defense. Atlanta does not have a Bucs defense. The Panthers do not have a Bucs defense. I like Goff, but Goff to me is one of those players when a team with great elite defense will make you pay. And I do think that, and Rick and I have already said this. So again, shout out to you, Rick. You helped me inspire Baker. I truly think that this offense is going to be a little more polished. And Detroit is a good up-and-coming team. It's a good story team. But I think the Bucs they're going to humble them in a way, because, as you said, and BGJ, I want to say this. Both sides of the tackles are playing stellar. Think about it that way. And all they got to do is, I'm just saying, this team, I feel like, is going to shock Detroit. I think Detroit, this is a trap game for Detroit, but that's just me. Slick?
I mean, I can see what you mean by a trap game, but I still think it's going to be close. I think I look at this game as the second measuring stick. So you've got the echelons of the tiers of teams. We went against what's considered one of the top tier teams in the NFC, and we lost. It wasn't the prettiest game, but it wasn't an embarrassment. We now go against a team that is in our realm, in like wins and losses. They're a division leader. I think they have the same win record. I think they're slightly different because they obviously they continue to play while we had a bye week. So it's another case of where do we sit? And if we win this game and we win it, then it's another statement going, okay, we're in that top echelon of NFC teams. So we have an opportunity. If we go to the playoffs, we could go
top
a little bit
echelon.
Oh, absolutely. There's only two teams that's right now in the NFC
that's what I'm talking about. And
threats
in the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the NFC. So I look at it as a measuring stick game. I see it coming down to about a 10-point difference, personally. Even maybe tighter than that. I think the occasion for the Buccaneers, it being the Creamsicle Day, I generally feel like that might help.
Don't we always lose games like this, though? We always lose. Yeah, we always lose like night games, and we always lose like throwback games and induction into the Ring of Honor games. We always lose these games.
Well, and here's the thing: the last time the Bucs played in Creamsicle, and James, we're gonna go down the history lane, Dan. We played with Josh Freeman against the great Aaron Rodgers, and the Bucs won, and they got a good win. We made Aaron Rodgers look bad that day. I just think this is why I say this. This is not the Byron days, guys. You know why we look bad? Because Byron was coaching this. Canales is hungry. He wants this team to get better. Just think of it, guys. Look, the Bucs win 12 games. They're gonna look at other teams are gonna look at him for a coaching position. In this offense, if the offense in the top 13, they're gonna be looking. I think that this team is different. Rick said it the last time. This is an exciting team because you don't know what to expect. And this team in the locker room, from what I'm seeing on the reports, they're excited. So that's my thing. I think Detroit is good, but talent-wise, tell me across the board between the Bucs and Detroit who has the better talent.
Well, AJ, I think the surprise comes in that the quarterback is playing well for us right now. Everyone can say what we want to say right now with the record being what it is, but realistically, everyone was holding their breath going into week 1 with Baker Mayfield under center for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe not everybody, but James, I know I was.
I got to give me and AJ a little credit on this one because before we even signed him, when they were still talking, are we going to go get Carr? Who are we going to get? What are we going to do? AJ and I were screaming for Baker Mayfield.
You guys were.
I mean, but hey, Rick, I got one. I got one on my page from a year ago when Brady first retired. I said, should Baker be a consideration?
Yeah.
Needless to say, early on in camp, you on air missing passes, not getting things done when you're supposed to.
Right.
It was a great pick. Like Dan said, it was a bargain shopping quarterback that we got. That's the former number 1 draft pick that is doing what he needs to do within the system of the offense. So I think that changes everyone's comfort level. You can see it last night with Dallas. When Dak Prescott started playing bad, the body language of the entire Dallas Cowboys team changed.
Yes, sir.
Since Baker's playing well, the entire body language of the team changes. I know that firsthand. We came out games when I was playing, it was like, damn, we got to get a touchdown on defense because Trent was like he's in this shit. It is what it is.
James, no, I got a question about that, James. I'm sorry, guys. I'll shut up.
No,
I've got a quick question that I want to know from him, and it's, because it's the opportunity to talk to you. When it comes to that, when I see I've said multiple times, and I'm fully open to being wrong about this, but I don't think the rushing yards is the only thing that matters. I think having a bunch of rushing attempts, even if we're not successful, pays off later in the game, and that's why. That's what I love about it. Even if we're averaging 3 yards or 2.8 yards or something per carry, and we just keep pounding. So many people are like, "What are we doing? What are we doing?" I'm all about it. I remember last year when we couldn't get 3rd and 1 to save our life. So I'm all about it. Am I wrong in saying that it's not always just about rushing yards? Sometimes it's about rushing attempts.
Well, the attempts helps eat up the clock. You know what I mean? So if you can eat up the clock, you're not successfully getting the rushing yards, but you can still convert when you go to pass, then it's still a win-win situation.
Yeah.
It only becomes a problem when you can't move the ball on the ground and they're stopping you in the air as well. Yeah. Now it's like, Raggy, what the hell we got going on right now, right? I'm not going to lie. I love Rachaad White last year. I love him on paper still going into this year. But there's something missing right now, and I don't know exactly what it is. I feel like there should be more yards gained, with the way that Canales calls the game. And I thought that Rachaad White would have a little bit more success being the number 1. Right now, he's really looking like a 3rd down back.
James, I think for someone who loves the position, who's played even in backyard, this as well. You've seen the likes of the great All-Star, A-Train All-Star. Sometimes you just got to hit the damn hole. Instead of thinking about it, just hit it. You got to sometimes run through and not around. When you do that, that's build momentum, and it's a chess way. You're beating the defense up slowly because you're a defensive man. Would you want to tackle a guy like Allstott in the 4th quarter? And then, mind you got Ward done out there. Your lungs is out. So I get it. But I want to ask you this because you were talking about Baker and saying how he was looking trash in practice. Because I ain't going to lie, I was a little suspect. But have you ever seen a player where in practice they sucked, but when the game lights came on, they took over? You don't have to tell me who, but have you ever encountered that on your team?
Yeah, it happens everywhere. I tell my players, or my students all the time, we say let's have a perfect practice, but realistically, in this game, nothing's really going to be perfect. You just got to get as close to perfect as you can and fix it. There's some guys that will go out on a straight Cadillac, we used to call it during practice, and the lights come on. It's like, damn, where'd that come from? It happens all the time. It doesn't surprise you. When I was referring to Baker looking bad early in training camp, it was just missing. It could be rust, and that's coming from the break from OTAs, then going into training camp, doing a lot of different things. I'll be the first one to admit and say, early on, I said, let's go, Kyle. Let's give Kyle Trask a chance and then see what happens. But Baker has more than earned his shot. He's doing a good job. He's taking care of the ball. A couple turnovers in, the Philadelphia game. But that defense and that pressure that he was getting from Davis and them up front was ridiculous at certain times. And you can live with those because he was still making good decisions, just not able to get good throws off because of the pressure and duress he was under. But yeah, to your point, there's going to be some guys that's going to look like shit in practice and turn it into sugar on Sunday when it counts.
Yeah, I've seen that. You got the workout heroes, and then you got the guys who don't look like they can do anything in practice, and then you put them out on the field and they're just bombing. They're just flying around doing everything they ever do. It's almost like they're saving themselves. It's weird. But just reiterate to Rick's point, I think what I would say is it's the rushing opportunity. So it's like rushing to situation. So if you're averaging 2.8 a carry, but you're converting on third down, it doesn't matter what it does. The bottom line is it doesn't matter what your rushing totals are, as long as it's an efficient rushing attempt. So if it's efficient enough that it's getting you a first down, or it's setting up a third down and long, it's third down and short, then it's adding something, yeah. Whereas if you're just rushing for the sake of rushing, just because we've got to have rushing attempts because we want balance, then it becomes a bit more messy, and that's where I'm not on. I'm not on board on that. I would say if it's not working, look at something else. But to the point, it seems like it's working in its way. And again, with what what James said, absolutely. I was expecting him to be a lot more hungrier. I was expecting him to be, just better than what we've seen so far. I don't know if it's the case of like he knows he's got the starting spot, so he's maybe took his foot off the gas. Maybe he's what they always say about quarterbacks, trying to get it all in one play. Maybe this gentleman's trying to get it all in one rush. So that's what I'm kind of getting from him. But he seemed to have improved in the last game, and I know the opposition was different. But hopefully he can take that game in and just push it into the next one.
Yeah.
Well, are the blocking schemes weird now? I mean, there's a huge difference between this year and last year with the kind of blocking schemes, with the way that everything about this offense is so different. Is that something he's just got to adjust to?
I think it's different, but at the same time, it's still fundamental football. It's just called a different way and looks a little different. That's what you had the time in training camp to go in and OTAs and everything else to get used to. It's just not the same running to me. And you guys probably say it better than I do. I'm having to, get the pirate fire stick out to try to make sure I can catch every game and see what I can see. And sometimes it's on a replay and it drives me crazy. But the ability of Rachaad White is there. We all know that. I think we all agree to that. It's just something about, like you said, like AJ said, you just have to hit it, pound the ball, get downhill with it, and not dance with it. And it seems like sometimes it's a quick hit scheme, like especially if you're using a lot of play action off of it as well. You're using your run to set up play action pass. It's got a quick hit. You're not going to have time to dance. You got to get that first bit of daylight and go. And Rachaad White is a lot more shifty than just being a downhill guy sometimes.
Agreed. And James, like you said, it's one of those things where you also have to know yourself. You've seen it before. How many times have you coach where some players think that they're Barry Sanders when you're really awesome? You have to be real with yourself, and you're not Le'Veon Bell. You got to sometimes just hit it. That's what we loved about Allstott. When Allstott needed vision, that's when he used it. But for the first part, his objective is to punish the damn defender, because you know this. Defenders will get tired and bruised as the game goes along. And as you stated, the play action, that's where it comes in handy, because now you have to honor that. You have to honor it. It's better to be an effective runner than just to be a decoy, especially when you're not a big name. And like the Terrell Davis situation in the Super Bowl, where Terrell Davis' presence was so feared that's why Shanahan said, I need you in there, because if you're not in, they won't believe it happens. Until you get there, I think Rashad, he has the tools, but he's going to have to find the heart to do so. Well, yeah, you cannot be a cat with your tail between your legs. No, I want to ask you this. What is, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball for the Bucs, both of you can answer, but James, I want to start with you. What is it that besides Rashad, what else do you think needs to be implemented to make this offense to run smoothly?
I mean, they're doing a good job. And y'all mentioned all the wide receiver play, but realistically, I think it's going to come down still to our offensive line. I'm still, I don't want to use the word skeptical. I still just think that they need a little bit more time. And I'm hoping that the bye week gave them some much needed a little bit of rest, but also some more time to get that continuity together, because that's just really where, I still feel like is our biggest question mark on the offensive side of the ball. I mentioned running back. They'll get that figured out, but if we can get the offensive line to just stay consistent and hold up and protect a little bit better, it's going to be fine. And also some of those next level blocks. Yeah, we say Rachaad White is dancing, but sometimes if you don't hold up and get those second level blocks, you're still not going to gain a lot of yards either. So that's just what, in a nutshell, what I feel like we have to get together.
Agreed. Yeah, and I agree too. Now Slick has heard this plenty of times, but James, I am a man of crossing routes. James, when I have a guy with Palmer's speed, I am going to utilize the damn thing until it kills me, until you stop it. I'm going to make you pay, because crossing routes to me, especially if you do it right, can be so effective and frustrating. My goal is, as an offensive-minded guy, I want to tire your linebackers out, because they're going to be the first to go.
Yeah, but AJ, you also got to think, today's hybrid linebacker lives to blow up the damn crossing route as well. You got to be careful running the hell out of that route, or your receiver going to come back and look at you like, look, dog, I'm not going back over there. I'm not going across the middle again so they can knock my head off. You understand?
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You better send me on the go. But utilize it, incorporate it. But that's still the outside guy. Palmer, I didn't know, like I said, beginning, what was that, fifth round pick? We got Palmer?
No, he was a sixth rounder.
Okay, but to get him where you did and to see what he can do with the ball and stretch the field, and then Watkins also playing well, like y'all said earlier. We got weapons at the receiver spot. We just have to block and then figure out how we're going to do what concepts we're going to use to get those guys open.
Amen. Again, you got a guy with a 4.33 speed, and I know what you're saying about hybrids. You are right. Now, this is where you have to choose your weapons, but who on Detroit's linebacking core has the speed to want to go through that? Now, you're right. Now, I don't think crossing routes would be effective against the 49ers. Not at all. But this is Detroit. There's no linebacker that, to me, has the speed of a Devin White or Levante that we're going against. I could be wrong, but my thing is, sometimes you do that, you can help the offense get a rhythm. This is short passes, and you can confuse the defense, because what I mean by crossing route, then you got Otten running up the seam, because you gotta pick one thing. You don't want Palmer to kill you with his speed, but I think they're still going to underestimate Otten. Do you think Otten is an underestimated weapon in our arsenal?
Well,
I do.
No,
I was saying I do. Slade, not to cut you off. Cade Otten is surprised. I don't want to use the word surprised again, but I believe that he's leading up and he's working every week to where he's going to be a solid household name, I think, at the tight end position before his career is over.
You were talking about, like, what does the offense need? I'd like to see a little bit more Cade Otten. That was literally my one piece, because I think he has the ability to go off. Not saying that they're not utilizing him. I just think he could be utilized a little bit more in certain ways, different types of routes they could work with him, fake blocks, peel off blocks, that kind of stuff, that turns into a route. I think those could be beneficial. I would love to have had him and Gronkowski have a training camp together. That probably would have really helped push that kid along. I did hear that he went to tight end U with those guys, and they apparently raved about how good he is. So he's definitely got the toolbox, because you've got people like George Kittle and Travis Kelce rating him massively right now, as well as Gronk. So I'm hoping, I'd like to see the breakout year. It just feels like he's not had it yet, but I think it's a case of you've got an offensive coordinator who's learning as he goes too, and he's going to what he thinks the strengths are or what he thinks he can utilize. And we're all sitting here going, well, we could do this and we could do this. It's like, we know what realistically Rome ain't built in a day. So he's figuring out as he goes. Of course, we all want to see our guys produce. We all want to see our guys get their yards, get their catches, get their touchdowns. But we have to be realistic, as that our offensive coordinator is learning as he goes what he thinks is working, what he wants to implement. And so we can all turn around and go, crossing routes, great, it's a brilliant idea, and more of this and more of that, and add a dash of this. And realistically, that might not be in the scheme of what they do or what he's trying to achieve. So we'll see what happens. But I've got big faith in what we've got. We look very creative, if anything.
Yeah,
the Buccaneers on offense are very fun to watch because it just seems very different to what we've seen in the past.
Hey, I got one question before James goes. I don't want to lose this opportunity, because you guys brought up some players are big. They show up, on game night, and other ones are big are great in practice. I gotta ask, your nickname is Big Game James. Were you one of those guys who you hammered hard in practice, and then in big games it was the same thing?
Well, honestly, the name Big Game came in college. I didn't have the opportunity not to work hard in practice being a 6th-round draft pick. I had to lay it all out on the line.
Yeah.
They did my nickname after my first preseason in Tampa. They called me Gamer, because they said once the lights went on in the preseason, like, I just went crazy. But during the season, it was all work every day, and it was one of those things where you had to get after it. But I at times, and it was because you think about it, all the best guys from their college gets together on one team in the NFL, and so you no longer have the luxury of being like, man, I'm the best dude, they're not getting rid of me. There's 100 guys lined up trying to get in the door to get your job if they can. So it makes you change your mindset, makes you practice a little bit different. But it was something I'll say this to everyone, and a lot of people don't look at it like this. The NFL is a job. I know guys, people that are fans, they go on and they cheer and they think, man, my favorite player is walking in the stadium playing the game. But when I get to the facility on certain days at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, lifting weights, watching film, walkthroughs, practice, treatment, more weights or conditioning, and then going home and repeat it the next day, that's not just football anymore. That's an actual job. So it's like you got to come learn how to work. And coming from college to the NFL, you have to learn how to practice like a pro if you're going to sustain any kind of career in the NFL.
Why is practice at 5:30? I mean, why do you guys show up at 5:30 or 6? That's actually something I never knew the answer to.
Well, when you get there really early, and this is how it worked when I played. We lifted twice a week. So Tuesday was a month after the game, Monday was a lift day, and Wednesday was a lift day. Tuesday was off day. But the younger you are, the earlier you have to come in so the vets can get in later and closer to meeting time.
Okay.
So the younger the guy, the earlier he works out. Then you get some guys that still just like to get up there early and work out. But like that 5:30, 6 o'clock, that's usually on that Monday, day after a game. That's your longer workout. You got to get in, get it done early because vets are coming in later. The team meeting time was still the same time, like around 9 or like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But you had to get in and get that lift in. So you might get in, get your lift in, get some breakfast, then go crash in the lounge until it's time to get up and go to meetings.
All right, thank you. I always wondered that. I always heard the coaches are sleeping on the couches and players are getting there at 5:30.
Now that's true. And Monty Kiffin, dude, I swear to God, Monty scared the bejesus out of me a couple times Because like I said, I get there early to work out. You go in the lounge, you think you about to sit, lay down on the sofa, and the music, what you doing? You're like, what you doing down here on the sofa? Like, but that's how much work he put in. Like Monty would pull all-nighter sometimes to where, depending on who we play, what we wanted to do, how he wanted to get the defense to work, he might be there all night and not go home. And then, Tony was always one of the ones like, hey man, go home, see your family, get a break from this, come back the next day. But Monty was like all systems a go, and when he had it in his mind, he had to get things going a certain way. He'd be up there all night, man.
Man, shout out to Monty, man. Monty Kemper, man. We love you. Look, you and Dungy, the Tampa 2 is iconic and is still used to this day. James, what does it feel like to be a part of that? Like, I just want to know, like, to be a part of that defense where the Tampa 2 is where it's at. Like, do you just sit back some days and just go, damn, I was a part of that?
Man, you know what? I don't think it really hit me until I got older and was away from a lot of those guys, or being able to come back and go to games and see people. But I would call people, like I would call back to my old school, talk to my coaches. I would have coaches call me like, "Hey James, man, I need you to tell me about that Tampa 2. We trying to run it and do this and do that." And I'm like, damn, like Tampa has implemented a defense that's sweeping the nation, like not just the NFL, but you got colleges trying to mimic it and do it. But the one thing that I always tell everybody, the reason that Tampa 2 worked so well was because we could rush with 4. We didn't have to blitz. That pass rush was so good with the front 4, and no matter what piece you put in, we were always applying and getting some kind of pressure that you could do more things in the secondary, and that cover 2 worked out well. And a lot of people were like, well, we tried the Tampa 2, it doesn't work. It doesn't do that. Well, it didn't work because you didn't have the pieces to run the defense the way it needed to be run. And you don't have 3 of your 4 guys that could pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, then it's it's going to be a rough system for you to do, and it's going to ask your secondary to do something that's very hard to do, and that's cover for more than 3 seconds in the NFL.
So basically, that's the Legion of Boom. So yeah, I like that you said that, because you know what that means. That's why Sapp was so an important key figure, him and Brooks. Look, man, It's James. Now that's my opinion. Sapp is the greatest D tackle of all time. I know people are in love with the Aaron Donalds of the world, but to me, I need a guy that can do both. But that's another topic for
but they're in love with Aaron. And like I said, not to change the show topic, man, but they're in love with Aaron Donald because that's what they know right now.
Facts.
You don't have a lot of historians of the game anymore, man. Like people live for 15-second clips and a reel or a clip that's 15 seconds long, but they don't really go out and study and watch the game. Because like also not just that, another guy that I played against, I'll play a lot. That damn John Randall was a mug. Yeah. He didn't do as much as Sapp because Sapp was better against the run and the pass. John wanted the pass rush on every damn down. He would hit you on a spin move. He like, dog, it's second and 1, dog.
He's
like,
still trying to hit your quarterback.
You really hitting you trying to hit us that spin move right now? Like watching him. What you think about the late great Cortez Kennedy, Jerome Brown? Just so many different guys that played this game. Chester McLaughlin was another monster on the defensive line, man. That Derek Thomas on the edge. I mean, I love the game, and the thing is, like a lot of young guys now, I was like, hey man, I need you to look this guy up for me when you go home today and to tell me what you think. And I sent a couple of my defensive ends Simeon Rice film, and they're like, Coach, this dude was. I was like, I tried to tell you. He said, it didn't look real. I said, I tried to tell you. I said, now, if you can incorporate one small part of that in your arsenal of what you do, it'll make you that much of a better player.
See, look, Simeon Rice, Hall of Fame, get him in there. We need to get 5 of the Bucs on that team in the Hall of Fame, because then that solidifies, like, look, we're top 3 of all time. But I know you got to get ready to wrap. But I want to ask you this, James. Give me your final prediction of the who wins, and give me a score.
Oh man, you trying to make my life hard today, AJ?
That's right. That's right.
AJ our defense is strong to me. Like I don't doubt our defense. Not that we played bad against Philadelphia. We were just on the field for a long time. We made Jalen Hurts play bad. I believe we can put pressure on Jared Goff. I think the offensive line is what scares me against that Detroit pass rush. That being said, I'm going to say, since y'all made a believer out of me. Y'all made a believer out of me tonight. Y'all changed my mind. I think we go into this game, and I think we can pull it off 17-10.
Right, that's what's
pretty
up.
close. Yeah, that's
James,
pretty close.
tell everybody
I think it's gonna be a fight.
And what you got coming up.
Oh man, hey y'all, I'm trying to get my Buccaneers content together. I'm so busy, but hey, it's Big Game James, and I'm on. You can find me on BGSE Network on YouTube, on Facebook. It's BGSE Network, or you can just follow me, James Canada, and on Instagram, it's Jake. It's a Big Game 97 or BGSE_network. Bringing y'all where sports, entertainment collide, touching on everything: football, basketball, even a little baseball. But when it comes to football, y'all know my first love are these Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, James. You take care of yourself, man. And as always, go Bucs.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good night, fella.
Good
Good
night.
night, my man. See that, Buck fans? We trying to make believers out of y'all. Look, we got this. We got this. This Detroit team, again, they are the star darlings right now because Detroit is what Tampa was a few years ago. They're trying to get out of the remnants of their past. The Bucs were the same way. When Brady got there, we did not want the stench of the old Yuccaneers there. Detroit is doing the same thing, and they got a coach that believes in them and is trying to get the hell up out of there. But again, we talking football, baby. This Bucs team is something me and Rick has said. It's new because we don't give a damn of what you think, and the Brady circus is over. So people are going to doubt us. Like, Rick, they really still think that this Slick. I saw this shit earlier. Somebody said that they got the Saints and the Falcons still being better than the Bucs, despite that we embarrassed the Saints.
Hold on. Who has that? Who has that?
I gotta find it, but guys, the Saints.
I did see something. I don't know when it was published, but someone put up like the betting odds of who's going to win the NFC South and the
Yes,
Buccaneers.
that's exactly what it is.
And I don't know if that was like from the preseason, but it just got put up. So I don't know the context of that.
Right.
It could have been from the preseason, which, let's face it,
that would be a surprise if
right now, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the Saints had one really, really, really good win, and it's against a really poor team.
And you know, I love that you said that, Slick. When the Bucs beat a poor team, man, Justin Fields.
They beat a poor team. The Buccaneers beat a poor team.
Or
who they beat?
Poor team's problem. What's the poor team's problem? But when the Saints do it, they were fantastic. Not to mention that Matt Jones and the Patriots they're on their way out the door. Hell, the Bucs are a legitimate team, and we said it when Kancey comes back. Look at what Kancey did in Minnesota. I told somebody, if that Kancey comes in, you think Jared Goff is going to be able to handle that? I told you this already, guys. I expect the Bucs to come out and dominate because this is my thing, guys. And correct me if I'm wrong. I guarantee you this. Detroit is going to try to emulate what Philly did against the Bucs in the run. But the problem is, I tell people this all the time. Like you said, when we lost, people were trying to say, the Bucs are done. You do realize the Bucs went up against an elite offensive line, and they have a
defensive line. Their line is legit across on both sides.
Right. So what did you expect? I like Detroit. Detroit don't have a line like them, and they don't have a back at like Swift. I like Montgomery, but I know what to expect of Montgomery, and Montgomery's style does not fit against Bowles' type of defense because you have to have an elite line to defeat that. And if Vita and Kancey are in there, oh my God, you got to double one or the other. And again, we know Golston is our guy with stopping the run, and Logan Hall has actually been a lot better. I went back and watched some of his games.
If I'm going with this one, though, I'm going Greg Gaines, Kalijah Kancey, and Vita Vea. That is a lot of beef. They are three fucking big boys.
A lot of beef, exactly. And
then you've got the speed on the edge.
Right. I was about to say, you forgot. Oh. Let's not forget, we got Yaya coming out there. I will not be surprised.
He's been there, though.
But I won't be surprised if he gets a bigger role now. Hey, Yaya, let's get you.
He looked like he had a big role in the last game, to be fair. I didn't see JTS nowhere near as much. It almost felt like
agreed.
There was a step forward for Yaya. And that play that he does have on Alvin Kamara, where he just drills, man. It's a really good read because he does exactly what you're supposed to do as the force player or the containing that edge, and all he does is just flow out. A lot of people just go straight down down the alley and try and get a hold of the quarterback and realize the running back's just gone past them, because a lot of guys just tend to have their eyes down and they just go straight forward, and then that's it. He did exactly what he's supposed to. He got free. He read what was in front of him. This guy's peering out. I'm peeling away. I'm just following him. And that's all he had to do. It was really nice work.
Oh, no, you're facts. And they read it. Well, first of all, not New England, the dumbass Saints, they telepathed it. Nobody was scared of Derek Carr when they passed that rock. I was like, oh, this is a definite run for Kamara. They were predictable. But I want to hear, Jeff Olson says they have an elite O-line. Now, Jeff, I like, and shout out to Jeff, but I challenge this, Jeff. Let me ask you this. Is it because are they really elite, or is it that the defense that they have played makes them look elite? We have to be real, guys. Just look at the 49ers and the Cowboys. People were literally saying the Cowboys was going to beat this 49ers team. I said, you're out of your damn mind. The 49ers are the best team right now. What can the Cowboys do that the Niners couldn't match?
The proper way, as I always like to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through their team, and you're going to tell the team that they face, and you're going to tell me their best pass rusher. That's fair?
Okay. Yeah, that's very fair.
They faced the Seattle Seahawks. They faced the Kansas City Chiefs.
They don't have a pass rusher. Next. Chris Jones didn't play.
The
Next.
Seahawks.
They don't have a pass rusher. Next.
The Falcons, they do. Grady Jarrett, but I wouldn't put him as an elite pass rusher.
No, he's a hot and cold pass rusher.
Yeah. Packers.
No.
If you took that long to think about it, they ain't got one. I think it's probably Brian Burns for the Panthers, and that's about it.
The Panthers are a toilet hole right now. So
I'm just saying that they do have Brian.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They have
very, very good pass rusher.
They haven't played a defense that can.
But that's just one guy, and I think it's here we go. JT with it, Sewell. Is it Sewell? Sewell? Sewell. I don't know.
Sewell.
Thank you.
Sewell.
I think Sewell is the main guy on that off the edge, and it could be a case of what we have a bit of a weakness in is the middle of our line of our offensive line, rather than the tackles seem to be playing quite well. To be brutally honest, I'd like to see a lot of plays off the left tackle with a fullback or a pivoting tight end, a motioning tight end coming across. I think that would be quite tasty. But again, not my scheme, not my world. So yeah.
No, but I like that you said that though, because it makes perfect sense. You said it quite clear. Who are these pass rushers? Like you said, when you have played premier pass rushers, that's when you can say cool. But that's my point, Jeff. I want to make to Jeff, because again, also Bowles knows how to disguise schemes where you're like, wow, we've all seen this, and Rick, we all have been like, all right, what the hell was that? When Vita Vea drops back in coverage, I literally just want to fall over and go, who the hell is he gonna cover? And that coverage, I know he got some speed, but good God.
Your crossing route. Your freaking crossing route is who it's gonna cover. You're gonna have your little wide receiver running across the middle, meeting Vita freaking Vea. This is why you don't do crossing routes all the time.
Oh no! If that were to happen,
over 5 yards, you can't touch him anyway.
Right. I was about to say, if anything, if
he gets the ball. I'm saying once he gets the ball.
Oh,
you got
Vita Vea. If you throw a crossing route with Vita Vea right up the middle and he's right in there, you just deserve to get fired. You didn't like that receiver in the first place. You didn't like, no, okay, throw it to him. But no,
crossing route works great. You just can't live off them.
No. You don't. Listen, what's his name? Michael Thomas.
Yeah,
injured every year.
Well, Michael Thomas was overhyped anyway, because a high volume receiver doesn't mean you're the best. Short passing routes don't mean a damn thing. And we all saw that when Michael Thomas got to the playoffs.
Crossing routes.
They said, well, he's old slant boy. For him, it was just a simple, I'm going to run 2 yards up and then 3 yards to the left or the right, and that's what I eat off. That's different. What I mean by that is the crossing route for me, it's the confuse and tire out. It's one of those.
You're basically talking mesh, aren't you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I want to what I want to see from this team is more the running back coming up, blocking, and then turning around and catching the dump off pass, using that as a run, which completely throws the defense. They can no longer rush hard. They can no longer play the same
especially off
kind
that
of
edge.
Right. They've got to be careful. That's what I want to see. I want to see more right over the middle dump off passes. It might be hard for Baker because he's short. So that might be an issue.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Rick, because there are certain plays.
Done, preset drop, done.
Yeah, and Rick, you're right, because there are certain plays that I look back to where I'm like, wow, if Baker was 6'5", that's a touchdown. Because there was a play where if he literally looks up, I'm like, wow, you have Godwin. That's a damn touchdown if you look, and it goes to the
That's
touchdown.
why we need Trask. I'm kidding.
It's like this. It's like that touchdown to Tompkins. When he looked, and maybe he just wasn't looking, but I think a taller quarterback would have saw it. You had Rashad White in the middle, wide open. Nobody was there, and he literally couldn't. And I honestly think maybe he couldn't see. Because what is Baker's, 6'2"?
Yeah, he's 6'2".
If he was 6'5", that's a touchdown to White all damn day, because he would have saw that wide open. But you're right, though, Rick. But the beautiful thing about him being 6'2", he's mobile, and when he runs,
he gets lost behind the offensive line as well.
So
and he gets faster.
Jeff Olson said that the Lions are number 1 against the run. Couple things I want to bring up about that. First of all, I thought Philly was. Maybe they flipped, but part of the reason that the Lions are number 1 against the run is because teams have been playing from behind. They're throwing the ball a lot more. So you're not running as much. But I do want to say this. We're not going to run the ball successfully against them for a lot. But I think, again, don't give up on the run. Keep jabbing, keep hitting. I think that's critical. And
I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, I really, it's gonna be a thing. By the way, guys, and I'm gonna have to run.
Okay.
I'll say this real quick. Not this week, not tomorrow night, but a week from tomorrow, Dave and I will be back with Bucs Live. We will be a week from tomorrow. Dave and I will be back. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that, and I expect you guys to free up a little time on Tuesdays to come by and say hello, if you would, guys.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. You know it. Yeah, you
No
put
doubt.
it out with it.
I would very much appreciate that.
Anytime.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. All the stuff you do for us too. So.
Well, you guys are awesome. I love this show. I was talking to Eric Moreno, who's actually in chat. I was telling him earlier. I mean, I do. I mean, I come on this show. I love this show, and that's genuine. I mean, it's
Appreciate it, bro.
yeah. I mean, I look forward to it. You can ask, dude. I'm always asking him early in the day on Monday. Is there a show tonight? Send me a link. Is there a show tonight? Send me a link. Because I really do like this show.
We love having you on too. So
we love having you on too. And look, again, Rick, thank you for inspiring me with Baker. All you asked me was one question, and I said, you know what? Rick got a point. Let me check this out.
You ready for my score?
I remember that day.
Ready for my score?
Yes, I am.
20-9.
Ooh.
They're not even going to score a touchdown. It's going to be 3 field goals, 20-9. And look for 2 turnovers.
Ow! Go ahead. I like it. I love it.
Awesome, guys.
Go Bucs.
Hugs all around. Later on, guys. Go Bucs.
No problem.
Go Bucs.
Go
Bucs.
Always. Oh, go Bucs. Now, Slick, that is literally like a old traditional NFC Central kind of score. That's like the 90. That's like a 98 score under Dungy. But it wouldn't surprise me. This Bucs defense is a lot better than what people want to give credit for. And the simple fact that the Niners did what they did to the Cowboys, it's not. I think you should say the Bucs defense is better than Dallas. I love the fact that people are overhyped.
I think it's more cohesive in the sense of that it's more together. I think
Yes.
The Dallas defense is built up of really good individuals.
Yes.
I would say the Tampa Bay defense is built up of a collective team that work together. I'm not saying that the Dallas Cowboys aren't a fucking team. They clearly are.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is they're known for just having at least 3 people on their team that are the Flash, and then after that, it kind of dies down a bit. I don't know if they're cohesive enough as a unit, as a defensive unit, that they're all together.
You're right. That's what I mean by that. You're absolutely right. That's why I said it's an ego hit or miss.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It feels like a bit of an ego defense rather than just who has an ego on our team that comes across as a bit of a prick. The most you could go is Devin, and Devin doesn't on game day. He's not like that. He is very much celebrating his teammates. He's very much with it. He is that dude, and it's the same with Antoine Winfield, who has a bit more, who has swag too. All the players have swag, but it's almost like they play for each other. They celebrate each other. They want each other to succeed. It's not about I'm the man. You kind of get that with Michael Parsons. Mike Parsons, I'm the fucking man. I'm the Mac Daddy. Whereas everyone else on the Bucs team is like, no, we're the Mac Daddy. We're the shit.
And you can.
And I think that's the difference.
And you're right. When they lose as a team. Dallas loses, it's more of a who's to blame. Look at Micah, like you said.
Fingers are being pointed.
Yeah, and when Micah gets dominated, it takes him out of his
and he blames his. I think I don't know if it was Big Game James who said it, but so I'm pretty sure it was him. That when they started to lose, their body language changed.
Yes,
because because they went into blame mode because they're like, oh, we're gonna blame this motherfucker because
absolutely
he's playing well, and it's like, well, that echoes throughout your team,
and they got intimidated. See, the 49ers, the way that they beat you to intimidate. It's sort of the same like the Cowboys, but when it doesn't work, it backfires. Dallas, I saw when the first touchdown the Niners had, I'm like, oh, they're through. They don't want to play. You're right. But when Micah had Kittle's blocking him single-handedly, he didn't know what to do. And
he's a blocker, though, isn't he? He really knows how to block. I mean, he is the best blocking tight end in football.
Exactly. I told people, this isn't Travis Kelce. This is an actual fucking tight end. And let's be real. Imagine if Kittle had Mahomes as a quarterback. Exactly. I'm glad you did that. That's the exact expression that most people should make. If Kittle had Mahomes as his quarterback, Kittle to me is just a long-haired Gronkowski. Not as
he's a headbanger. He's a headbanger. I'm for it. I'm going to bang. If I were to describe the two, because they are both very vibrant personalities, they're both very vibrant in the way they play. Kelsey's very skill-based, like he is very good at what he does. But at the end of the day, he's a very, very thick very, very thick slot receiver. He can block only in the run game.
Yeah.
Only in the run game. He can't max protect. I keep telling Kansas City fans who keep telling me that the Buccaneers lost because their tackles were out and blah, 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 blah. And I tell them, you do realize there are things you can do to make up for beat up tackles. And they're like what? No, max protect. Why is I keep being told that he's one of the better blocking tight ends in football. If not, someone at one point was argued to be the best for that year, for that 1 year.
Right.
I believe it was that year. Why did he not help with the pass protection?
Because people don't know football, Slick. You said it.
It's because he can run the ball. Why didn't why didn't the Kansas City Chiefs run the ball? They actually had some success running the football. They were so adamant they were going to tear us apart with their passing game that they forgot that they could still run the ball. And they were good on the run because we played cover fucking 2, which means you have a light box. And they just went, no, we're going to keep throwing it. We're going to keep throwing it because it's going to happen eventually. And it didn't, and it didn't, and it didn't. And then they paid for it. Then the game went out of sight.
And you're right. And also, if they knew they didn't have the personnel to run the rock hard either. Their running back, this quarterback then was not good enough to stop because Levante can stop the run or Devin. And you know Devin wanted to hit somebody, but you're right. When Kelsey gets taken out, even as a passing tight end, he's useless. Look at him. When he dropped stuff in the Super Bowl, I'm like, okay, he's done. He has it's a lost art now. But you're right. But let's go back to the Bucs and Cowboys. You're right. The Bucs have a unit and they have a unified structure that Dallas doesn't have, which is why I say the Bucs are better, because Cowboys are hit or miss. They're that team. Oh yeah, they'll do that to a shitty team like the Giants. But when they play a real team like the 49ers, the defense was null and void, because everybody knows mentally and right here, this is how you beat Parsons and them and the Cowboys. Essentially, you take both away, they're done. The Bucs is not like that. That defense, you have to wear us out. Literally, you have to drain, because if we don't,
and that team still didn't embarrass. We played one of the best teams in the NFC, and they still didn't embarrass us.
Facts.
Defense still dug their heels in. They were on the field way more than they needed to be. You look at the Vikings game. They believe, like, we are good enough defense that we will just keep our team in the game, and then it's up to the offense to make the plays. We've done everything we can. We have done everything we can. If you keep a team down under 20 and you lose, your defense is really fucking good.
Yeah, facts. Exactly. If you do,
especially in this passing era of fucking football, where all of a sudden people don't understand how quick 17 points can exist.
Yep.
Right. You get one short turnover, and then all of a sudden at 7, then you get one big long drive done. Now you're 14 points. That's why I'm a big believer. Me personally, if I was ever a head coach, I'm always wanting to defend first. I want to go double bubble. I want to get the bang bang. So I want to finish the game with a touchdown, and I want to start the game. I want to start the second half with a fucking touchdown. That's 14 points. And all of a sudden you're like, fuck, it's 14 points.
Yep, I agree.
If you're in front, oh my Lord, if you're up by 3 points at that point, and you get a touchdown to finish the game and finish the half, and then you get a touchdown to start the half, they're like, oh my God, we're 17 points. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And that's why I love it too. One, you want the hungry dogs out there first. Anyway, the defense always wants to get out there and shut it down. The offense, I want my offense to get back and really just calm their nerves and figure out what they're going to do. Because like you said, it can change. What if your defense starts out there first and they get a pick, and now they're at the 20 instead of having to be at their own 20? It changes the entire game. Now the offense can come out there and be extra hyped.
And we got to go and deliver. Our boys are delivered for us.
Exactly.
We got to go get it. Because when those defensive players are coming off and the offensive players coming on, you know what they're fucking saying to each other.
Score.
You got this, dog. You got this, dog. Because I'm fucking saying it. When we get a turnover, I'm going, guys, finish it for us. Fucking finish. Finish. Go and punch them in the fucking gut. Go get my fucking touchdown. We got your ball. Go get it.
I'm like that too with the offense. It's like, yo, first of all, I'm like, your defense just did something for y'all. Bail them the fuck out. They bailed you out, so return the favor and do the damn
Make it worth it.
And that's why I think this offense, I really hope, I think Canales probably sat back and reflected and said, okay, what can we do here that would be better? So I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs come out with certain plays that Detroit goes, what the hell? What is this?
Well,
they didn't do this.
They've only got 4 games of footage, right? So and to be honest, I can't really say there's a common denominator in his plays. His runs are a little bit more suspect to work out, but generally the passing is a little bit more difficult, because there's a lot of routes out there. There's a lot of concepts out there. That there's lots of different ways of doing different things in the pass game. That's where you can be the most creative, because you got 4 people running multiple different ways. In a run play, you can play with the blocking scheme. Yeah, but predominantly it's one guy going one way.
Exactly.
Because he's toting the rock, right? All the other stuff is just fucking filler. Read the running back. The running back you get your initial read from the lineman, run or pass, and then you're looking at the running back and flowing to where he goes and making a fucking play. But one thing I wanted us to do before we get a chance to, we had a lot of comments and we had a lot of guests on. We didn't really get a chance to go through the comments. So any comment I've been thinking that's noteworthy, I'm throwing up here, and we'll discuss it. The Bucs offense right now just all it needs right now, except for a top 10 running game. It doesn't even need a top 10 running game. It needs average. It just needs average.
Yep. Jim, I said this. Yep. Jim, I'm going to tell you this, Jim. I said this before the season. Bucs just need to be average on offense. this defense you got, we don't have to be what we were under the Brady era. Even then, we had an elite defense, but we know with Brady, the expectations was you're going to be elite. The first 2 years of the Bucs offense, hell, we were ahead of schedule after the Kansas City game the first season, but that second season, that's where everybody expected this Bucs offense to be elite, and it was. But right now, under the Baker, you don't have to be. Guys.
Sure, last year, the defense kept us in the game. We only had Tom Brady turn up for the last fucking 5 minutes of every fucking fourth quarter.
He did.
What and why did he need to? The Buccaneers just needed to score a decent amount of points to keep them in the game within touching distance. And then Tom Brady would do his thing, and he'll go, "All right, guys, I'm in Tom Brady mode. Bang, 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 touchdown."
Facts. And also, guys,
how many walk-off touchdowns did we have last year? It was insane.
I know. It was like at least 4. I know the Rams, the Cardinals, the Saints, those 3 right there, like you said.
Oh, that was a double bubble on the Saints. I think we had a goose egg on. I think we had like 6 points on the board or something like that, or 3 points on the board. It was like 2 touchdowns. It's like done.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And that's what we're saying, guys. And also remember, the 2 best teams in the NFC are the Eagles and the Niners. The Niners are number 1 in the NFL, in my opinion.
And we get to play them both.
And we get to play them both. But look at it like this: outside of you have those guys, they're at the elite status. We know this. But after that,
we're not from the door.
Detroit, they're right. That's right underneath. The Cowboys, if anything, the Cowboys kind of got knocked back. Now we'll see how they bounce back. But
I think they were considered in that top echelon until they had 2 really bad losses. We haven't had a game where we got embarrassed.
Right. The Eagles beat us. That's it. They didn't embarrass us. Dallas got embarrassed, y'all. They got embarrassed, and more than that, they exposed.
They pointed the finger at each other.
Yeah, Slick, what do we always say? We know Dak is going to be Dak. And he was Dak guy. He's who he is, and we know that. Here's the thing with Baker. Baker got the best team he's ever been on. So in Baker's mind, he's probably like, oh, shit. I got a shot to really, if I want to make some money, I can do that because I got the weapons to use it and utilize it. Again, guys, I honestly would not be surprised, like you said, Slick, if Otten gets more targets this game. They might go and say, you got to go down
the trade. I mean, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Evans is back, obviously.
He'll be back. I think he'll be fine. I think that game.
I don't think he'd want, and I don't think he doesn't want to be back. I think he wants to wear the fucking creamsicle. Let's face it.
And I think, and that's what I'm saying. I think he'll be fine. I think the Bucs at that time against the Saints. It's crazy to believe this because we haven't felt this in a long time. The Bucs, I feel like the front office knew, dog, Saints ain't got shit. Evans, go sit down. The real game is Detroit. The Saints did not show the same fight. Like I had never.
They gave up. They gave up midway at the start of the fourth quarter.
I agree.
They did not want to be there.
I agree with you 100%.
Especially offensively.
I agree. I think they had a mindset where it was like, fuck it, guys. The game's over. Just go out there and perform. That's it. You are absolutely right. I think when the fourth quarter came, they knew you're not winning this game. The Bucs were just so overwhelming. You could even tell when Winston threw the pick, it wasn't really a damn, Jameis. It was okay, guys. We were gonna lose anyway. So
they're gonna go to kneel down formation. Fuck it.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. The Bucs beat this team. Now like you said, now the Bucs are, oh wow. We know the Bucs are good, but now they're going to put them in the really good category. Now,
all my friends are changing their tunes right now, right? So we all support different teams and what have you. They've all gone, you guys are having a phenomenal.
We said this already. We told people this. A lot of people didn't want to listen.
This is how I nailed it, AJ. It's fucking simple when I say people. Everyone's like, the Bucs are rebuilding. Okay. I know my philosophy is if anyone's got a different opinion than me, I'm going to walk down with them and I'm going to ridicule their opinion. So I turn around and went, okay, so the Bucs are rebuilding. Yeah, but you didn't really sign anyone in free agency. Okay, well, you do realize this Buccaneers defense is the same defense that beat Patrick Mahomes, only missing JPP, who I would say we haven't replaced yet. Assuming that was really old. Like both of those guys are old as shit. They're just old guys, nothing against them. They were just older.
Exactly.
And we're replacing them. The only other guy is Jordan Whitehead.
Facts. Everybody else is
That's
a
it.
champion.
Everyone, and we've replaced these guys with guys who can either do the job as well, or I would say with JPP we haven't replaced yet. We're still figuring that shit out. That shit hasn't been sorted yet.
No.
But I feel like we've got a passable attempt at the tackle position. We had Hicks last year, and this year it's kind of being a rotation of Cansey and whatever. That's coming into fruition, but it's still productive. We lost JPP, but we're still productive because of the creativity of Bowles. We
Yep.
can play around with a few different things. Did any of us really think Nelson was going to have the season that he had last year?
I
No,
didn't.
it was a surprise. And it's the rotation. It's the Shaq Barrett. We got the Shaq Barretts of the world is back. So this defense isn't massively changed. The wideout system isn't massively changed. Yes, the offense is probably the biggest change up because we've got a lot of new guys. Like we still got Wirfs, and then after that it kind of fizzles out a little bit. Wirfs, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and then you kind of go, yeah, okay. It is a different offense, but we're going with a different offensive scheme, one that's quarterback friendly technically. So I said we're not rebuilding just based off that. Don't get me wrong, it comes down to Baker's play, and it will. But the Buccaneers won't be that bad, even with not the greatest quarterback in the world, because I genuinely believe the defense is good enough to hold them in games. Look, we had Jameis Winston 30 for 30.
Yes.
He lost 3 games in a row because of his picks.
Yep.
Or it might have been 2. And all we had to do was win 1 game and we're going into the playoffs. 1 game, and he just went, you know what? Here, have a ball. Shit. Pick 6.
Exactly.
The game.
Yeah, and that was that game against the Falcons. I remember that shit. Yes, no, but you're saying everything. You're right. Everything Slick just said, guys. We told you this. Why would the Bucs rebuild when you have all of this and there's nothing to gain?
Rick wants to jump on for a split.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, I forgot one thing. You guys reminded me of it, and I wanted to bring this up. The decision, it's decided, Brady or Belichick. It's decided. We know it was Brady. That's not a question anymore. Okay, but
He's on the right guy.
But I want to point out one thing in addition to that, because we heard for so long how great the New England way and the Patriots way. How many times we heard the Patriot way and how that's how they do things, and the organization is blah blah blah. Listen, Tom Brady left us. We got better.
Yes.
Tom Brady left there, and look at what happened. I'll take our GM. I'll take our coach. I'll take our ownership. Screw the rest of the league. Look at what we've got going here. It's fun to be a Bucs fan right now. It really is fun to be a Bucs fan, and we should be proud of what we've got going. Be proud of the Creamsicle. Be proud of that, of flying that red flag. There's a lot to be proud of as a Bucs fan.
Damn right. Good job, Rick. Exactly. Rick just gave y'all nothing but facts.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, Rick just said it in a nutshell. Unfortunately, Belichick, he gave away the chick that he thought that he could replace. She became badder, and it hurt. Brady did it, and that's what happens sometimes. Some dudes just get too greedy and not realize, oh damn, you thought that 9, you thought she was a 7, and she was still a 9. You the one who was blind. Yes, Brady did all of that, and here's the thing. Brady also created a winning mentality that these Buccaneer players want to keep. And I'm glad you said this. Players like Levante, Mike Evans. First of all, I'm not even going to go after that. Just them two in general. They know what it's like to lose and have a shitty mentality team where it's like, I'm just here to get a check. These guys don't want to go back to that. And despite that,
and they can relate that to the players. They can turn around, guys. I've been on a dog shit fucking football team. I've been there when it's 2 fucking wins of the season. But I've also been there when we've won 10 games and won a fucking Super Bowl. I've been there when we won 13 games and pushed for a playoff. I've been there when we went back-to-back division championships. And I'm telling you, you never, ever in my this last 3 years is the best 3 years of my career, despite what the stats say, because Levante's stats have come down over those last 3 years because he's getting older. He's still extremely productive. Mike Evans, he's obviously younger, much younger, a good 2 or 3 years younger than Levante. So for him, it's not happened yet. So you got those guys going, this is what it's at. And if you want it, it is on the plate. But you've got to listen to us. You got to listen to your coaches. You've got to fucking dial the fuck in. And on game day, you got to make it. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it with people like Christian Izan, who has just exploded onto the scene. We're seeing it with Trey Palmer, who's having this 2 touchdown season already. You know, he's only in, and yards aren't there, but the 2 touchdowns. It's all coming together. The Buccaneers, like the gentleman earlier said, just need to get that cohesive run game. It doesn't have to be great. It just needs to be bang middle. Give me the 16th best run game. Fuck it. Give me the 20th best run game. I don't need to have. I just need the 20th. As long as it's productive when it needs to be productive. If I need a third, it's third down and I need 3 yards. They get me the 3 yards. It doesn't matter that our total was 2.8. It's when you rush that matters. Was your first down rush a good rush? Yeah, we got 3 yards out of it. Okay, brilliant. We're building. It's buzzing. On our 4th down, we were able to convert. On this, we were able to convert. That's where you have an efficient run game. We can all turn around and go, oh, that run game, amazing. Yeah. Average 5 yards a carry. Brilliant. But they forget the lowlights. And the lowlights were stop the line of scrimmage, 16-yard play. Stop the line of scrimmage, 20-yard play. And that's a lot of people used to say that's how Adrian Peterson played.
Yeah.
Hit the line of scrimmage, 18-yard play.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's why I used to tell folks, I'll take Marshawn over Adrian. As you said.
Because he'll fight for the left yard.
And Marshawn knew when to score. Marshawn was a chess guy. Marshawn was the guy where he would have a game where he would get 89, 90 yards. But that 28-yard run is what got them a touchdown and what sealed the deal and win the game. Adrian, 168 yards running, but he also had 2 fumbles. That ruined the game. This is why.
And he been hit by behind the line of scrimmage 6 times.
Right. And that's why we tell people, and I'm with you on this. Like, if the run game is shit, don't go for it. I need production. I don't care about the attempts. I need production. If I get 20 attempts and all you give me is like 20-something yards, you didn't do a damn thing. Get me where you can have 14 attempts, but you got 79 yards out of it, and it was effective to where the defense said, "Shit, they're set up for a big run," and you take it out. I'm glad you said that. That's what this Bucs team needs to be. They don't have to. Hell, if the Bucs run offense is 16. Slick, we're blowing teams out. Don't let the Bucs be an average running game, because then with this receiver core, the Bucs will damn near be a juggernaut. Not damn near, they will be a juggernaut, because with this defense, they'll get an interception and say, "Here, take this shit back and score." Can you imagine? Don't get my hopes up like that. You got me out here. If the Bucs can be 16th in the run, the only team that would scare me after that would be the 49ers.
You're pretty good against the run.
Yeah. We'll take care of the 40. We'll take care of the Eagles, because after that, an average run game with this passing game is only going to get better. And I say that because with Baker, this is a different Baker than we've ever seen. Baker is not, like you said, he doesn't need to be the hero. And I do think with this Bucs team, he doesn't have to be, and he's playing like it. When he wants to be the hero, that's when bad things happen. The Eagles game, we have already said it. When he tried to be the hero, that's when bad
things happen. And to be fair, to his credit, he didn't do it too often, and it didn't hurt us too hard. So at the end of the day, what we've got so far is a Baker that's making the right decisions in the right places. It's just, the throw to Mike Evans, but it's not like it's consistently him trying to make that same thing, the same thing. I think he makes the mistake. They take him to the side and went, "Dude, you do realize that was a dumb play." Like, look.
Right.
And he's guessing rather than you don't need to go there because this is open. And trust. Mm-hmm. Live another down. Live another series. Maybe we get a field goal out of it. Maybe you go all the way and you turn it into a touchdown, but don't try and get everything right now. Play to the posts, because that's all you need to do. You just go play to the sticks. Play to the sticks, play to the sticks, play to the sticks, because you'll get opportunity. Then there will come an opportunity where you go, aha.
Facts. And he's mature, but you know what? That also comes with maturity. I think that he's gotten older. I don't know if we could have said that to a Browns Baker, but now he's like you said, it's oh shit, you know what? You're right. Let me just look at this way. And I got the weapons that can make up for it. He has the confidence. Look at the throws he throws to Godwin and Evans. It's damn near crazy how his release before they even turn around. That's the confidence that we see. And I like the fact that he takes risk. It's like this. With the Brady, it was careful precision. But with Baker, it's like, no, I want to make these guys, I want to force it sometimes, because then you can force a defense to change their entire thing. Oh, shit, he's forcing it to Evans. We need to go to Evans now. Thank you for that. Now I got to odding up this seam. And like you, as your old thing, whoop, oh, shit, wait a minute. What happened? How did Otten get open for a 65-yard touchdown? That's because you were so focused. Your safety was so focused on not letting his corner get burnt by Evans. He moves too fast. And a lot of people don't realize Baker has been tricking a lot of defenses.
And that's where play action works beautifully, because for a tight end, if you can get a linebacker to bite hard onto the run so he comes down 3 yards and the tight end is already going up, they're doing this. They're just going past each other. So you're literally just going, straight up to you.
And right. And again, a lot of linebackers, now, of course, with the game change, a lot of linebackers are faster, but again,
you gotta think the first thing you do is you take your read step. Some players, if they get the read that they think they got, they will commit to that.
Oh, absolutely.
So they'll take extra steps. And when they make extra steps, I've always said this to my guys when I redo my film. I said, I don't mind you being a bit more aggressive in the run game because you're seeing something.
Right.
There'll be play action on the play. But when you realize it's passed, I expect you to fucking explode into your back pedal, not fucking dilly-dally fucking dance your way. You're not going to defend it. You're not defending anything. I said, I've watched you go from 5 yards. You're 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. You come down by 3 yards for the fake. And then by the time the ball's thrown, you basically backpedaled. Well, I said dropped 3 yards. So you're back at your original position. You haven't done it. Technically, as a linebacker, you've done nothing. That's where you are at. What you need to do is, if you're going to overcommit like that,
yes, sir, you
need to explode into your back pedal, like foot in the ground, and just turn those hips and bang into your zone. We're more of a zone team anyway. So hook, seam, curls was basically the main two things. That's all you had to do as a linebacker, and as hook, seam, curls, and as someone's coming across, you just smashed it.
Exactly, but you said it first, and that's why I tell people this too. You have to know your players and personnel and yourself. Linebackers, like you said, don't bite too hard, because every linebacker's recovery is not the same. Fred Warner might be able to run with the receiver. Yo ass might not be able to. Fred Warner and Devin White are the freak of natures. Yo ass run a 4.75 or something. It's okay. We know you can tackle, but like you said, it's
you got to get your read right, because you overcommit. You've got to turn. The thing is, you're going downhill. You got to stab a foot in the ground and then turn your hips and then work to where you're to the zone. Right, that takes time. So the more footwork you put into it, it's called wasted steps. We all know about wasted steps.
Yep.
So what you're supposed to do is you take one step forward, get your read, and you follow it. You either go, oh, it's run. So on a play action, you might give up an additional 1 or 2 steps. So you're now 3 steps into it. Now you've not, oh shit. I've added the extra steps. I now need to I've got to make up 3 steps worth of yardage to get back up to case, right? Because that's the way it is.
And God forbid the tight end opponent you're going against runs a 4.5 flat. Now you, like you said, that turn already, by the time you turn, oh shit, he's already up the field. Now,
especially if it's play action quick pass. Yeah, so it is bang, bang.
Oh damn!
And there's no read in it. There's no the quarterback ain't reading. The quarterback has got one guy, and that's it. And it'll probably be the slot. He just goes boom, boom. straight.
Touchdown.
The whole point is to get somebody to bite on the play to create that space that he catches the. So let's say you've got a linebacker, and then you got a slant. You got your slot with the slant. He runs up. I'll give him a 3-yard slant. You are literally going pop, bro. If that linebacker comes down, it's gone. It's over, And then you're relying on the safety to make the tackle, or the other linebacker who may not have cheated or bit on the play. But you're gonna get 5 yards bare fucking minimum. Obviously, that's not every single play, because not every single play they bite on it. Not every single play the throw and catch is right. That's the beautiful part of football.
And I'm glad you brought up this coverage, because this
No
is
good.
the Bucs cannot do this shit right here, guys. You see this? They can't do that, because I didn't say Bucs that Detroit is a bad team. I said they're up and coming good team. An up and coming good team will make you pay. Like I told you guys earlier, they're looking at that Eagles game and saying, hey guys, this is a way to beat this Bucs team. If they give cushion, give what they take. If they are not in that box and loading it, we're going to run it. Montgomery is still a serviceable running back. And not only that he's serviceable in the run game, he's serviceable in the pass catching. So the Bucs, this is where I think Bowles needs to mix it up. Now, he won't do it. I just know who he is. I would say I'd be on attack mode the first, if we're on defense, the first down. I'm saying, nah, man, we want to see you beat us deep, because I don't see the Detroit Lions with a receiver that's Mike Evans-esque or even Godwin-esque. Make these receivers and the quarterback beat you. Goff is good, but he's not an elite good.
Make Goff throw perfect.
Exactly. Oh, say that again. That's perfect, actually.
Make Goff throw
perfect. That is the quote of the night, guys. Make Goff throw perfect. And if you know Goff, he's not perfect.
I generally believe that he is a good quarterback, but I don't think he's perfect. I don't think for him it's sustainable enough for him to be perfect. And that's why I like it, because I think he will make mistakes, and that's where this Buccaneers defense has already been opportunistic. It will come. Patience will. I generally believe, like James was talking about, Big Game James, he was talking about how the Buccaneers will get 2 turnovers, and I generally believe one of them will be on a drive that was hoping to become a scoring drive, which is why he had his score quite low. Is if you're driving that ball and then you pick it off, that's demoralizing for your offense, and you take a score off the board. We saw it when we played against the Rams, right? They went in to try and score. Antoine Winfield comes in, pops that ball out, and if that score goes in, it would have killed us. I think we would have got blown the fuck out. But no, the Buccaneers persevere. They get another one. They get another one, and they keep building. And that's what you keep seeing from this Buccaneers defense. They keep going after it. They keep getting it. You don't know when it's not always going to come every time, but you know they're working for it. They're trying to get it, and it could be fumbles, it could be picks, but you know it's coming. And I wouldn't be surprised if the only reason they lose is because they are two what should have been scoring drives turn into picks or fumbles where they cough up the ball and they're like, fuck that because opportunity. Take your opportunity. If you miss out, that's what I always say. If you give up the ball on a long pass, it's kind of like a punt, especially if they don't return it much. So it's not a big deal. But when it's in the red zone or it's in the half where you've got guaranteed points, you've got a guaranteed 3 at bare minimum, and you come away with nothing in a tight game, that's a gut punch, because you're like, fuck, all that work for nothing.
Yes, and also it sometimes can make your defense overzealous. Shit, we got to get this ball back quick. No, do your job. Oh, no, he lobs it over because the corner tried to jam the wrong way. And
just do your fucking job.
Yep, and the receiver moves him, and now it's a free thing.
Seen it so many times. Seen it with my team where we have a play where in one of them, the corner goes deep. In the other play, the corner plays the flats and the safety plays the deeps. And the corner went deep. It was a deep ball, and the safety just stood there. And the ball went in, catches the touchdown, and it is game over for us at that point. And I turned around to both of them and said, what happened? And he went, Well, I just wanted to. I just didn't want to give. I just didn't want to give up the ball. That was the corner. I was like, what was the play call? He was like, I was supposed to have the flats. Okay. No, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem that you didn't defend the flats as a corner because it was a deep ball. Had it been a catch that was in the flats and it was returned for a touchdown, I'm blaming your ass. But in this case, you two could have actually double covered.
Right.
One of you could have gone underneath and the other one would have been over the top. And the safety just went, I didn't know what he's doing. So I just looked like I was holding my dick. And I went, but you can't guess what he's doing. You can only do what you're doing. What was your job on that play? And he went, I've got the deeps. So why did you stand in the fucking middle of the field holding your cock? And he went, I was trying to figure out what he was doing. I was like, you don't need to figure out what he's doing. Your job is to play the fucking deeps.
Right. Don't worry about him. Do you?
When he fucks up, I'll kick his ass. But you fucked up.
Right. That's
I'm
why
going to kick your ass.
Facts. And I'm glad we're doing that because I'm about to give you like my stars, my you know, I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna give you my 2 stars on offense and 2 stars on defense in my prediction. Now, my 2 stars, I know it's cliche, but I think Baker is gonna ball the hell out.
I hope so.
I think he's gonna ball with his feet, which is gonna shake the Detroit Lions. And then Mike Evans. Mike Evans is going to be critical, and I don't in the especially in the red zone. They're gonna and one bomb play. They're gonna give him one bomb play because Detroit's not gonna be ready. But that's it. Now on the defensive side, Antoine Winfield is going to be the king again. He's going to get an interception, and I said this before. They're gonna put him low.
I want him to get 6. I really want him to get 6.
I said this. He's gonna get in the box, right? And Detroit's not gonna. They're gonna think a blitz. He's gonna back out. Goff, being who he is,
hit that flat,
and he's gone. And he's gonna get 2. And he's gonna get not 1 but 2 sacks because when they do blitz him, Goff is not going to see it. The beauty of Antoine, he's 5'10", so he's tall enough but short enough to where you can't get a line on him. He's not Chancellor where he's like 6'3", 6'2". So and then. I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with Yaya. And I say Yaya because this is why. If Kancey comes back, Detroit is going to say, fuck this. We got to protect the middle at all costs because Vita and Kancey are too much. Yaya is going to muscle his way in. So that's me. And this is a hot take again. The score will be 31 Bucs, Detroit 10. That is it.
That's the thing. I was like, "Whoa, that is."
I say that because the Bucs defense is going to give this team a short field. Not because the Bucs are going to march down offensively yet. I don't know if we're ready yet for all that yet, but because the defense is going to be so overwhelming, they're going to get a pick 6 and they're going to get a turnover where the offense doesn't have to do that much work, and Detroit is not built yet to play from behind. So that's me. What about you?
Okay. Me, my star on offense will be Baker. I think it has to be because right now we are living and dying off Baker. To a degree, the offense kind of pivots on how Baker's going to play, realistically. And I know you could say that about any quarterback, but if you've got an extremely good running game, you can kind of get away with relieving the pressure. Our running game isn't a really, really good game. I just had a look at it. We are probably ranked 28th, 27th, something like that in the run. So we've got a long way to go before it becomes efficient enough that we can turn around and go, we can take the pressure off by Baker, like making him hand the ball off more not than not, right? So Baker's play. And I do like how you said about Baker's and his feet. I do think that this is going to be the game for it. I do think the more and more he gets comfortable with what he's seeing, I could quite easily see him going off, sliding down when he needs to and getting what he needs to, and maybe get your weight up again, comes out. Love to see it. And then for me, I want it to be an unsung hero. As much as I love Mike Evans and I'd love him to like go off in the creamsicle, but I really want to see Cade Otton have that moment where he's one of those weapons that could just go under the radar that doesn't get the respect, especially if we can get something going. Other than that, it could be Trey Palmer. On defense, I think Levante David is going to eat, but I think Antoine Winfield is going to be the one that gets it all. I could honestly see him pick 6. Just like you said, I have to agree. I think it's coming. This guy can do it all. He can knock the ball out. He can pick the ball off, and he can turn up. He can knock the ball away, and he can just disappear and reappear. He is fucking Goku right now.
Yes.
Turns
Super
up.
Saiyan.
Yeah, he's a fucking Super Saiyan right now. And he can knock the ball out. But I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe if it wasn't a pick six, he knocks the ball out, picks up his own fumble, and returns it on a short field. On a sack. I could see strip, sack, fumble, recovery, touchdown. I could honestly see one or the other. It has got to be coming for him because he's just playing so well right now. The Buccaneers, I guess, must be sitting here going, oh my God, our players are playing so, all our final year contract players are playing so well. What are we going to do? We're going to guy playing left tackle as well as he played right fucking tackle. So now we got to pay him a stupid amount of money. We've got a safety playing out of his skin. And right now we have a quarterback who could potentially be our long-term quarterback. We don't know yet. There's still a lot of football to be played, but right now it looks like it could be.
Yeah, we that's a good problem to have, but in this sense, it still is a problem. But I'll let you go, Slick. But guys, check me out again. I posted a video about the Buccaneers on It's About Bucking Time. I told y'all my score 31-10. So that is, I'm standing behind that. So you can always check that out. It's About Bucking Time. And also check out my Instagram link on Instagram. It's AJ Turnup. And then get you some nice.
Oh, he's got a creamsicle
here. Turn up in style. That's all I got to say. Hold on. Yeah, turn up in style. There you go. There it is. This is Captain Buck off. So yeah, as always, Slick, it's a pleasure. And go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
Take care, my brother.
Take care, man. I'll catch you soon. Okay, so that's pretty much the end. Eric Monroe, we will get you on, just not today, unfortunately. We'll definitely get you on at some point. Do miss you. So yeah, guys, we got our Creamsicle Day going on. Big day for us. Game's been flexed. Feels really good because the Buccaneers are kind of getting a bit of attention. It's nice that it's done without Brady there. It's not the Tom Brady, but Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers or whatever they called us. It is your Bucs. And that feels pretty fucking awesome, if I'm honest. You've been listening to us on the game Broad Street South 102.9. And we do have a giveaway coming up. There's a bit of a thing going on with Mitchell and Ness, and we have a Mike Evans jersey to give away. Details will be forthcoming. But for me, all I want to say is, guys, thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for the comments. I do apologize if we don't go through your comments. We will try and get people more on. When we have a lot of guests, it kind of gets a bit more, what's the word, muddly. That's nothing against our guests. We love our guests. But when it's a quiet day, we will get you guys in and we'll get you guys having a bit of a chat. We'll get you in for a segment, talk about that, and then get you off and get someone else in. Let it rotate a little bit more. Let that thing percolate. But after all, guys, your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 3-1 going into a game against another measuring stick team. This is a team. If we beat this team, we know that we're a power in the NFC. We know that we can go and have a real good season if we can beat this team. Now that doesn't mean if we lose that it's all over and the skies fell down. It just means if we win, we get the drinks in. So guys, much appreciated. Thank you. You've been listening to us on the Game Broad Street South. And we love everything that they do in promoting us. They are good people, so go check out their other broadcasts and whatever else they've got going on. They are good people. I would like to thank Big Game James and everything he does with Big Game Sports Media that he does. Rick, when he comes on, he's bringing back Buck Live, so he's going to be predominantly an amazing person. Go check out his stuff when it comes back on with Dave. And then finally, we've got Dan Holney, who does a Bucs podcast with us as well, not with me personally, but on the Bucs Report. Go check his stuff out. It usually comes out on a Friday. I'm gonna go with a Friday. It comes out on a Friday. Not sure on the time, but he's always got that stuff coming out. Go check him out too. So thanks to our guests. Thank you to AJ, my bro host with the most, and thank you to every single one of you guys. And I will see you post game show unless we decide to do another one, because why not? Post-game show for me will be the next one, and I will see you, and hopefully it'll be a Bucs win. Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!